Hi everyone, Justin Allen Hayes here. Voices for Voices, TV show and podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. You can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, all free things to do. We greatly appreciate it. And if you could reach out to 25 of your closest friends or in your friend circle, let them know about Voices for Voices. We're doing big things. We're third behind the Dan Bongino show and the Joe Rogan Experience. So we're the third hottest show on the planet. So whether you're watching, you're listening from one of the over 100 countries, one of the over 1,000 cities, thank you, welcome. And we want to make that 3,000 cities worldwide and 300 countries worldwide and helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. It's because of you, our viewers, our listeners, that we're even at this spot. It's really a miracle, miraculous that we are reaching the depths of the world, the locations, the geographies. Thank you so much. We have only you to thank. So thank you and welcome to the show. The show must go on. And after last week's heavy snow, heavy winter weather, we are getting back to a little more normalcy here. Uh, getting getting content out, sharing stories, talking about the topics that matter. Our latest episode, we talked about the Olympics and the halftime show of the American football Super Bowl entertainment, the halftime between Bad Bunny, sorry about that, Bad Bunny and the rival, kind of America First uh, uh, rival, I guess, competition, first ever of a um, halftime show of the American football Super Bowl, as well as the uh, winter 2026 Olympics getting kick-started. The opening ceremony is coming up here this weekend. A lot of great things happening, a lot of great topics talking about. So thank you for joining us, and I truly mean it. Uh, it it we have goals, and then when we break them, it really it's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling. It's hard to put into words, but we have nobody else but you to thank. So we're going to talk a little bit about self-improvement on this particular episode. What kind of things do you do to self-improve? Are they easy things? Are they tough? Do they involve more than yourself? Do they just involve you where uh, you can work on things to self-improve? I mean, I'll just talk about right now the mental health aspect for me for self-improvement. Uh, I wouldn't be able to be where I am at in front of a camera with so many people across the world watching, listening, dignitaries, governments, uh, people that you can only dream about having certain individuals and their staffs watching and listening, and with that comes a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. So when we do come on for shows, a lot has gone on in between shows, whether it is something as we'll call it as basic as having a drink of water at the filter in the back at here and tell, but whether it's making sure that I'm hydrated because it tends shows and speaking and medication and different things they tend to give me a parched mouth and so I can have the best ideas that I think and I could just feel and hear my voice just crackle. And so it could be something as basic as that. It could be something like reading one of our books, The Search for Drake Colton by 9-year-old breakthrough author Ryan Solomon, which is available everywhere. Amazon, you name it, you can get it. Or whether it's rereading my mental health story up until a couple years ago, the Prescription for Living book that I wrote. Or it could be The Young Siren Born, just flying off shelves by David Solomon, brought to you by Voices for Voices Publishing. Could be doing that. Or it could be, we hear the word meditate, and sometimes we get turned off by hearing that. Like, you mean you want me to sit quietly and you think that my mind is going to cooperate, cooperate with me and slow down? And I've been there, done that, and I try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Uh, Taking a cat nap, a quick nap, uh, our bodies need it. Our bodies need rest, relaxation, whether that is a little bit shorter spurts throughout the day or at night. And I'll give a personal example, and this ties right into mental health. For me, again, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else. So maybe this is you, maybe it's not you, maybe it's somebody you know. I'm just going to share it because this is me. So in 2017, when I came out of the hospital, as you know, I'm not going to go through all that, but what I will go over is there's a book that I read, and I think it's called Why We Sleep, something around that, as far as the title goes. And the book went into quite extensive, or goes into quite extensive detail on why we sleep, why it's necessary for us to relax and to sleep. Not just, oh, I just want to sleep through this event, or I just want to sleep in just because. Hey, I've been there. I've done it. Like, I'm going to set the alarm for 10, 11 a.m. Or what have you, depending on, and if there's travel and there's time zone differences, times get all out of whack sometimes. That happens. No worries. And so this book was really helpful, and I really do I need to review it again because it really goes through step by step why we need rest, why our bodies need rest. And in my earlier life, when I was out partying and drinking, out till 2, 3, 4 a.m. and not the most healthy of habits from the alcohol standpoint, first off. Second off, my sleep was basically non-existent. It was the drunk sleep. It was the pass out. I, I wasn't getting very good quality of sleep. I had looked at sleep as, on the back burner where I'll go to bed when I go to bed. And so when I got my first job out of college, I found myself sometimes, and this wasn't not necessarily from a alcohol consumption, binge drinking side. This is more of just, well, my body's used to being up till 2, and so I'm up till 2 doing whatever. And then I would try to wake up, 4.5, 5 hours later, and then go into work, and I was not operating at my peak capacity for a very long time. And so I was looking everywhere except at my sleep because we've gone through, when I would close my eyes and, different things, I'd see a shark and so I kind of dreaded going to sleep, really. I really did for a long time, a very long time. And and so the fast forward into this book, again, I'm not trying to sell anybody on any books. If you want to buy our books, great. We'd love to have you make a purchase or five. Uh, but this book I'm referring to, it really got down into the science, but almost kind of like, our body needs to replenish itself. Like electrolytes replenish our body when we maybe have a parched mouth. Uh, Maybe if we do some activity, physical activity, uh, even just traveling. If you travel through an airport, all that walking from gate to gate, depending on where you're flying to, there's been literally every type of plane I've been on from the commercial side. So there's times I've been on small planes, and then we would have a layover, and then I'd have to go all the way to where the big planes are, and then the opposite at times. And so I didn't realize how much energy I was expended. I was just like, okay, I need to get to this gate by this time to make it onto this plane. And and so I wasn't hydrating myself properly. Uh, and then the sleep just again was non-existent. And when I came out of the hospital in 2017, read this book, I started to kind of revamp my sleeping style. And really it comes down to the time, right? So we have primetime TV, we have the news, we have all these shows that come on at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, and sporting events, right? So I'm on the Eastern time zone. And so if I'm watching a team that's playing a game on the Western time zone, well, the game's going to be starting basically 3 hours late. So it's going to be starting at usually like 10 p.m. And the game will be sometimes, American baseball, sometimes 2, 3 hours. And if I would watch the whole game, I would be talking about 1, 2 a.m. And it just wasn't cutting it for me. I was. sleeping in more than I needed to. I was, yeah. I mean, without getting into like too much detail, uh, family life and that since and this is just, and so we're speeding up until like right now, like a week and a half ago, right now, when what I would do is we lay down, read bedtime stories, my daughter falls asleep, and then I felt like, okay, Justin, you have to get up and you have to do some work. So I gotta, maybe cut an episode, film an episode. In my mind, it's the same thing. Um, Titles, descriptions, hashtags, all the things that come into shows where people are like, "Oh, it must be so easy. All you gotta do is just sit in front of your camera and do a show." Well, yeah, that's the easy. It's not easy, but that's the easier part. The other stuff is, I don't call it busy work, but it is busy work. It takes time, but it doesn't take a lot of like brain power. And it was having a negative effect on me. It's having a negative effect on me and my family. I I was thinking I was doing what was right by getting up and going and doing some more work. So I went from, I don't know, let's just call it peak capacity. And then we're at a state of rest. And then I can get up and then I'm at close to peak capacity. And then I try to shut it down for the night at 12, 1, 2 a.m. It just wasn't working. And as somebody that loves sleep, uh, I needed to make a change. And so the self-improvement was my mind, even then the next day, wasn't able to work at peak capacity or as close as it can be. And so I was being less efficient the next day and then less efficient the next day. I was getting things done. It's not that I wasn't getting anything done. There were projects, there were episodes, there were things that were getting done, a lot of things that were getting done at that. But I didn't feel like I had a chance to breathe. Like when I was, you're reaching for ideas in your mind. Of course, there's AI out there, but I try to steer clear of AI as much as possible. So when I finally decided to make the choice to rearrange my schedule so that when I went to bed, I went to bed. And so it has, so I'm in kind of infant stages of getting back to that spot so my body can repair itself as best as it can. Um, and so that self-improvement for me has been huge the last week and a half. Now, the weather being what it had been, that didn't help out, but it was great because I got to spend a lot of time with my family together. And so I think that was a huge spark of, you know what, Justin, I I need to make a change. And it's one of many changes that I'm doing for self-improvement. And it's not just for me, it's for It's for you, our viewers, our listeners. It's for my family. It's for my friends, my colleagues, everybody. Everybody, I say everybody gets a piece of it, but everybody gets a better me in the process. So when I am on a show, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't proclaim to be. When I say I work, high efficiency and peak capacity, that just means I'm working well. I am I I don't feel burnout as much. I still do, but a whole lot less. So for instance, like today, I've been able to film 2 episodes, do a TikTok live, do a lot of different things, and it's still pretty early of a time. Whereas prior to the self-improvement on the sleep side for me, I would just be getting started with an episode. And so that right there, that's kind of proof is in the pudding. So what do you do for self-improvement? It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. So I do like to read. I do actually like to color. I'm not a great, I don't draw very well, but I like to color. And so our family, there's times where we'll color. And so it's like I don't have to worry about a whole lot at that time. It's just I'm just coloring. There's no real judge. It's just coloring. And so that's another way that I self-improve because that right there takes some stress off of my brain instead of constantly like, okay, what's the next show going to be about? And what's the next show? And how are we going to maximize getting our shows out to as many people in as many countries and cities across the world. How are we going to do that? So I still spend time thinking about that, but when I'm coloring and when I'm sleeping, my body's repairing itself and it's taken some of those peak stress moments and it's turning the volume down. So those are a couple things I do for self-improvement. There's others. Yes, there's sometimes where we watch a movie as a family or go to my child's class and they do certain activities. And so at most of those, I can just sit and just be present in the moment. I can just be present in the moment. I don't have to be the center of attention, although that is one of the areas mentally for me where I do have to be a center of attention. Like I get uncomfortable when I'm in like group settings. I think I gave this example before. I'll give it again for those that haven't seen or watched that particular episode. A good example is church. So the best time for me to go is during the week because there's not as many people than on the weekend. When I've gone on weekends, even recently, was recently as I've gone, I've had semi-panic attacks. These are panic attacks I haven't had in years. And I haven't done anything wrong. I've same regimen, same medication, same therapy. Uh, well, I'm getting back to doing the therapy from a peer therapist point of view. I had the psychiatrist and that. And then a couple years ago, my therapist, who I've had for years, abruptly retired, bounced around a little bit, and just never really made it back to a peer therapist. Um, and so that's another way that I'm self-improving. And it's taken a lot for me to get there. I've had to again fight my ego, fight myself and others. Uh, but so far, it's helpful. And so that's self-improvement for me. Again, a lot of it for me is on the mental side. And they don't have to cost money, right? Sleep doesn't cost money. I mean, yeah, you could be doing, the opportunity cost of, well, if I'm sleeping, 9 hours, I could be losing this amount on work. But you got to think about it. Might be losing some money on the work, but the work's always going to be there. I've never shown up to a day of work where there hasn't been something to do. Might not be what I want to do, but where there's been something to do. So the work's not going anywhere. The work's not going anywhere. So we just ask ourselves, what's more important? My longevity, being around as long as possible, or getting that last spreadsheet done, or getting that last slide for a presentation done, or running that report so you don't have to run it in the morning. I mean, it all just sounds crazy to me. Again, it's easier when you're in the moment, you're doing the things like for me with the sleep to look at, go, oh yeah, less screen time by sleeping, getting rest. That's another self-improvement strategy. So you're potentially reading, potentially coloring, potentially going to therapy, and letting your brain kind of reset a little bit. Let those wounds, if you've had a cut and it's healing, it'll take less time when you have more sleep because your body is able to take that time to help repair itself in a much quicker way. So if you have an extra 2 hours of sleep for the next 5 days, that's an extra 10 hours. Your body's gonna feel a little more rejuvenated, which we've talked about. So again, what do you do for self-improvement? Doesn't have to be anything you spend money on. Some of the things I mentioned, you do. Some of the things I mentioned, you don't. Part of it is just the lifestyle change, like the sleep. It's just like, hey, I'm going to bed and I'm just rearranging my schedule and getting myself ready so I can go to bed and my family goes to bed. I mean, I want to say it's a no-brainer. I should have did it a long time ago. I'm reaping the benefits of doing that. And so again, I ask, what are you doing for self-improvement? Have you thought about it outside of, a performance review at work and all? I'm talking just you purely as a human being. What you do to for self-improvement to kind of optimize your self-improvement? And so getting back to that the book on sleep, uh, been very helpful. Again, I need to take uh, another look through. 'Cause it was just so helpful is when I was coming out of the hospital. That was one of the things. I was afraid to go to sleep basically because of the shark coming after me and go to your happy place and my happy place is here at the beach or on up here and then this shark would come out of the water and then I would just get freaked out and then I wouldn't want to close my eyes. And somehow, some way, that's kind of subsided. I don't know how, I don't know why. But when I started to think about, like, wow, I didn't realize how many processes of our body need sleep, need rest, relaxation. It's really incredible. So maybe think about that. Think about one thing you can do to help self-improve yourself that doesn't cost money. Your friends are going to be your friends regardless. Set some boundaries. That's hard for me to do. It's been hard for me to do. But that's where the sleep part is. It's like, well, okay. Well, this is my new this is my new this is my new routine. And so are you if you're cool with it, then that's, thank you. If you're not, well, I gotta do it. I do. So we just have certain hours that we do the work, and then certain hours where we use our coping mechanisms, we do our self-improvement. One day it might be one thing, the next day it might be another. So think about that. I think about it all the time. It's easy to think about it and go, oh, yeah, that's easy. But doing it, that's a whole different story. So next time, you can find us, same place where you found us for this episode, to watch, to listen. If you can give us the big thumbs up, like, follow, share, subscribe, let everybody know about Voices for Voices. We're the organization that is and will be helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. If you're able to make a contribution, we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity. You can do that at lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org, and spelled out, it is LOVEVOICES.org. So thank you so much for tuning in. We have over 425 episodes in our catalog. Again, if you can reach out to 25, 50, maybe 100 of your friend group, maybe make a post, let them know how valuable Voices for Voices is. And until next time, let's celebrate the voices of everybody and let us be a voice for not only us, but for someone that might not be able to share their voice. We'll see you next time. Take care. We love you.